It's time to kick the tyres, check the screen wash, and make sure you've got one of those packs you need when you drive in Europe, you know, with the reflective triangle. We're going on a high-octane ride down Chat Highway, so fasten your string-back driving gloves, click your seatbelt, and hang on for dear life as I, Paul Claydon, and my passenger-stroke navigator Mark Barron take you the scenic route to Opinion Town. It's the motoring episode.
Welcome to Mark and Paul's Opinion Hour. Here we are back for another episode. Paul, how are you feeling?
Good, thank you, Mark. I thought that the last internet pod, the last episode, I enjoyed.
You liked it?
Yeah, I did. I really did.
You listened back to it?
Listened back to it, liked it. Well, I didn't think there was absolutely anything wrong with it
Just
at all.
Note perfect from start to finish.
Note perfect from start to finish. I think it will go down probably in the annals of history as one of the most perfect podcasts ever produced.
Should we just stop at this point, do you think? Just go out on a high?
I don't think we could do much more, really. Not now. I think it's all done.
And thanks for the intro, by the way. We love that.
Thanks.
Bit Partridge-esque.
Yeah, well, you know, I tried. I did realise after you said it then, I didn't actually say the name of the podcast in the intro.
I mean, one of us has got to have his head screwed on. One of us has got to be steering this absolute nightmare of a ship.
It's fine.
So, before we get into this week's episode's topic,
Yep.
which, as you so charmingly introduced as motoring,
Yep.
I thought we'd just do the analysis of last pod. Not that much to say, really. I did sort of think all the time when I listen back to the pods that we don't say this enough, so I'm just going to get it out there.
Go on.
Please contact us. And if you contact us, you can do so via email, which is...
Mark and Paul's Opinion Hour at gmail.com.
Yeah, or if you know us and you've got our phone numbers, you can WhatsApp us if you want.
Phone us the old-fashioned way.
But we've yet to have a single email, so it would be quite exciting for me.
Send us an email, you shit.
Yes. So just wanted to get that out there. Oh, the other thing that occurred to me that we've never really addressed since our name change,
Yes.
is that obviously the podcasts are never an hour long.
That's the kind of the joke.
Yes,
isn't it?
exactly.
That's the thing.
It's a joke-ish, but it just did occur to me. I don't think we've ever addressed that. So
well, there's two things we could do. We could either just carry on as we are, or we can just like talk, and then when it gets to an hour, just cut it off. Completely, just cut it, just halfway through a sentence.
The thing that does occur to me sometimes is that what I should be doing is editing down what we've got, but how do
you edit this gold?
Well, it's not only that, but how do you edit full stop?
Right, yeah, no, yeah, okay, fair.
So I do take some obvious stuff out, but unless it's glaringly awful, or clearly we've just corpsed or done, it pretty much all stays in.
Yeah, it's sort of natural. It's more of a flow, I think. Yeah. It works in that way. So, yeah, if again, please contact us if you think the pod is too long, too short, about right.
Yeah,
it's fine. I mean, we've done a bit of market research, and I say that we've spoken to. Well, my brother and your brother, I think, mainly our fraternal relatives.
Your cousin as well.
Oh, my cousin.
It's been it's very nepotistic sort of deal. Yeah.
So we kind of asked about what the length of the podcast should be, and mainly people aren't too bothered. They kind of think the way they consume their podcasts, they're listening to them while they're doing something else, and they might turn it off and do something else and then turn it back on again. So we'll carry on as we are until somebody tells us otherwise.
Yeah, exactly.
By email.
I think basically the feedback we've had so far has been either positive or completely apathetic.
Yes.
So yeah, in the absence of any sort of information to the contrary, we're just going to carry on
doing exactly what we're doing.
Absolutely.
In an obstinate way.
Exciting pod news.
Dun, dun, dun.
This just in.
Go on.
As of today, we've got a whole new mic recording rig to be dealing with.
and the very description of that shows the kind of level of professionality I think we're working with.
Yeah, recording rig. I thought it sounded quite industry then, but probably not. But so here's the deal: we initially bought 2 USB mics. This is what we're recording on today.
Absolutely. This is what we're rocking now.
We want to get a third person in.
Yep.
So it was going to involve buying a new mic.
Yes.
But I wanted to switch from USB to XLR mics.
Yeah.
For anyone. Yeah.
And me.
So we've invested in 4 new mics. And
Yeah.
we've got a nice little sort of recorder now that we can take on the road if we wanted to. We could do recording out and about.
Apt for this episode, isn't it?
But the most exciting thing is we can now get Neil, Quizman Neil, is raring to come along and actually deliver us a live quiz.
I'm looking forward to that.
I thought we would honour that, event by getting maybe doubling the size. Maybe he'll do 10 questions.
Oh, easy. I mean, will that mean we have to pay him more?
Yes, I suppose. Neil was actually planning on coming along tonight if the gear had arrived in time. Actually, the last bit only arrived today.
Yeah.
I haven't had the time to sort it out and sort of figure out how it works.
We've all got lives, Mark.
Yeah, yeah.
We're all living our own lives.
We have.
Can't be just sat waiting for the Amazon man at your front doorstep to go and set up some sound equipment.
I
can
mean,
you?
some of us have sort of like family lives where they've got 3 children and a wife.
Yeah.
Others have got less going on, so in
Yeah.
terms of life, one of our lives is more of a joke than the others.
Oh,
I'm not saying which is which.
and you should try and live mine for a while and
But-
see which one you think is a joke, I tell you.
I think we've got the full gamut of life is represented here, isn't it? Pretty much.
Well, when you say the full gamut, I think we've got the 2 polar opposites and not much in between.
Yeah, true enough. But anyway, the exciting pod news is that we're going to have new mics, so the sound quality, hopefully, will be going up.
Great.
And we can also have more people here, so we
More
might
people.
start introducing guests now.
Oh.
So these are exciting times, pod-wise.
Pod, absolutely.
Other ways, it's an absolutely awful time to be alive.
If anybody's got any suggestions for guests that they might want to hear on the podcast, please email.
Yeah.
As long as they're related to us, we know them, we have their phone number, and they've spoken to us before.
Well, I'm up for having a celebrity guest, but you will
Yes.
you will need to be able to contact them directly.
Yes,
'Cause
absolutely.
we-
And convince them to come and sit in Mark's loft room
Yeah.
and record the podcast with
Convince them, trick them, whatever.
us. Yeah,
Just
I
as,
don't mind.
as long as they're here, that's the main thing.
Yeah, once they get here, it's our awkwardness to deal with, is what we're saying, isn't it?
Absolutely. We'll take it from there.
We'll take it from there.
Awkward wise. Little bit on the last pod, not much really. No corrections, not that I noticed. Anyway,
Good.
obviously, if anyone else spots them, please do send them in. We'd love to hear about how shit we've been doing. But we mentioned last time about the etymology of the word podcast.
Yes, we did.
So I was right. It was due to the iPod.
It does make
It's-
sense.
It's simply a portmanteau of iPod broadcast. Simple as that.
Simple as that,
Yep.
really, isn't it? It was directly once you said must be something to do with the iPod. I
Yeah.
thought, of course it is.
Yeah.
Of course it is. I mean, that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
So one other thing I wanted to mention, which I just thought it was quite amusing, and also because I was just a complete idiot, is do you remember in the last episode I mentioned that anecdote where I'd accidentally
Yes.
posted on the internet? I say accidentally, I purposely posted on the internet
The
that
story
an
of the-
old school friend of mine was a bully.
Yes.
So I did the edit and I put it out, and then I hadn't spoken to you about it, and you
No.
texted me several days later saying, "Oh, it's this guy, I know the person,"
Yes,
saying the
I
name,
did.
and you were right. And I didn't even twig then. It was only a couple of days later still. I was thinking about that, and I'm like, oh, hang on. So Paul was able to...
Paul's not very bright, and he was able to figure out.
And
My
so-
God, what could some of these computer whizzes do?
Thankfully, even though I'd done the edit, I hadn't posted, broadcast, oh, sorry, what's the word? Published. I hadn't
Published, there we
published the
go.
podcast. So I was able to, I had to go back and re-edit it and remove a couple of things that obviously allowed you to find it. So I'm pretty confident now that what has gone out, unless you already know the guy,
Yes.
which I guess it's...
And if you
know.
do, I don't think, you think now that it was necessarily as bad, and you kind of regretted doing it in the first place.
Oh my God,
So
absolutely.
there's a certain amount of,
Absolutely.
But
what basically, I did a story about how I accidentally did this,
Yeah.
and then inadvertently did exactly the same thing again, and almost published that. So it's like, 20 years on, we got a whole new digital platform for me to fuck up on again
Yeah,
in
exactly.
exactly
Good
the
for you,
same
man.
way. Yeah. So I just thought I'd mention that. Oh, and Isaac Asimov.
yes.
We were struggling to think of other books that he wrote.
Yes.
And there was hundreds, I say hundreds, there was dozens,
Go on.
most of which I'd never really heard of before, except iRobot.
Oh, yes.
Which it wasn't like a
made into the Will Smith
sort of based
vehicle.
on that. It was not like a sort of shot-for-shot remake sort of thing, but it was inspired by.
I googled him and had a look at his what's it called? The thing wiki page. Mm-hmm. There we go. There's just some good editing you're gonna have to do today.
No, that's staying in.
Yeah, it's staying in. And yeah, he's more of a physicist. Wrote some textbooks, wrote some other stuff, and
But what I think he was most famous for writing was the laws of robotics.
Of course, can't harm a human
unless, or something, unless it's I can't remember.
Tuesday.
Unless it's a Tuesday
in February,
or unless
it's like the robot purge.
It can't harm a human unless they're Welsh.
Yeah, something like that. Welsh on a Tuesday. Isn't it that thing unless they stood on a bridge between Chester and Liverpool? I think that's the only thing.
But yeah, so that was it really. That was all I had from the last podcast.
Awesome. Well, I think that shows that we're definitely kind of on our way to being perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was always the plan, wasn't it? Be the best podcast in the world.
Hang on, no.
Oh,
that was before we've done the disclaimer and everything for that.
But we can still aim to be the best podcast. I
just think if we start saying that again, it's just confusing.
Is it because
people are going to think they're back at the beginning after they're like, well, we went through all this with the disclaimer and the things at the beginning of the podcast. And
have you sold the best podcast URL to someone else, and you're now contractually we're not allowed to say the word best anymore?
Saying,
right? Yeah. Okay.
So no, we should. We've got some good content coming your way.
So actually, I think I'll tell you what, I'm going to ding the bell, and then we're going to start the motoring section of it. So here we go.
Motoring is the topic of this episode, as we said back before the post-mortem. So today, I think what we're going to do is we're going to do some quick fires, then we'll do a big chat about sort of what our motoring history, about what cars we've had before, and some stuff around that. Then we'll probably do a quiz and then another set of quick fires.
Now, it did occur to me, so in the previous episodes, I think you accused us of maybe like, we're getting a bit Top Geary. I can't remember what it was. What were we talking about that prompted that?
It was probably your signalling, your and then the sat nav stuff that you went through last week.
Absolutely,
it's just an ongoing theme, really.
But it did occur to me that we were a bit worried about that being a bit Top Geary. Yeah. So I think we're just going to have to admit we're going to lean into this. Yeah. So you're a petrol head. Would you characterise yourself as a petrol head?
I like cars. I've always liked cars.
I think what makes me think that more than anything with our pod history so far is the Goodwood revival.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, that's a mecca for petrol heads, right?
Yeah, and that's something, I go to every year. I go to with my brother. Yeah. It's great. I have to say I like vintage cars and older cars and interesting cars probably more than I like, Bugatti Veyrons or kind of the full-on, the new Ferraris.
I was going to say, could you name the last 5 Ferraris that came out and things like that? Do you get magazines and stuff like that?
I probably could, but a lot of the YouTube content that I consume tends to be, it's a bit of a guilty pleasure, and I don't quite know why, really. Yeah. I feel a bit bad. It's a bit it's sort of associated with sort of toxic masculinity.
Oh, I thought you were going to say tossers, and I was going to go, you're absolutely right. You nailed it.
Well, a lot of people that exude toxic masculinity are tossers.
Agreed.
In my opinion.
No, I agree.
So I would say I am. I like to go on drives. I like to I talk about cars. I like to look at cars.
Do you go for drives just for the sake of going for a drive, like they used to do in the 50s?
Yes.
Or do you just like it when you're going somewhere anyway and you enjoy
it depends. If I'm in an all right car or a nice car, then just going for a drive is what I go for.
Come on, in this day and age with the climate crisis looming,
it's not good. But
that actually reminds me that another reason I think that you're a petrol head is when you were talking about what you do with £1 billion, there was definitely a whole garage full of cars.
Yeah, there was.
But you were talking about using synthetic fuel.
So this
and
is
the fact you knew about synthetic fuel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's more total petrol head, modern petrol head.
Yeah, well, there are synthetic fuels. They cost about I think it's about like 5 to 10 times more than normal fuels, but they are sustainable, and they are, at the moment, obviously, it's too far away for it to be mass produced. But yeah, that's what I would do. And if I had a load of money, you could just use that, and it would kind of calm your conscience.
So it would mitigate it quite a lot from the way you described it.
Yeah. Also, it's quite good to drive older cars. The sort of the carbon offset there, because a lot of the energy that goes into cars and motoring is making new cars.
Sure.
So if you haven't got a new car, I mean, they say one of the most kind of ecological things you could do is get a car and just use that car into the ground and then get another one, rather than change your car every 3 years.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
That's how I'm justifying it to myself, Mark.
That's fair enough. As long as you can justify it to yourself,
thanks.
Then
That's what I need.
History will be the judge.
I sleep fine at night, Mark.
And you're an electric car driver.
I am.
So that's
yes.
interesting.
Yeah.
So I've never driven an electric car.
Right.
I currently drive a hybrid.
Ooh,
so I kind of know what it's like to drive an electric car up to about 5 miles an hour.
Okay.
After that, I've no idea what it must feel like.
Well, it's kind of like that, but a bit faster.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that does make sense.
I mean, it's once you get used to it. I mean, I like it now. I've sort of used to it. There's a lot of torque. It's just acceleration, and it's great. You can drive it on one pedal, which is good because it brakes for you when you sort of.
Does it?
Yeah, when you take your foot off the accelerator, it automatically brakes, and it does regenerative braking as well. So the energy that from the brakes goes back into the battery.
Amazing.
It's exciting. It's not funny. True.
Got Formula One to thank for that.
We have.
Yeah.
We have. Yeah.
So here's my deal with what I really wanted to talk about. Okay, actually, before we get into that, motorbikes. Could you give a shit?
Nope.
No, me neither. What I was hoping to talk about, and I don't think that necessarily any of our prepared sections we're coming up will cover, is quality of one's driving.
Yes.
I am convinced.
Okay.
Now, this hasn't always been the case.
All right.
But I am convinced
that
I am the best driver in the world.
Oh, are you?
Because for a number of reasons.
Please.
I'm a very careful driver. I'm a calm driver.
Okay.
I used to drive.
Does that mean slow?
Well, here's the thing. This is why I think I'm the best driver in the world. Is you won't often find me going over the speed limit.
Okay.
And if I do, it won't be by much.
Right.
But
even on a motorway?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I accidentally hit 80 miles an hour whilst I was trying to overtake something the other day, and I was horrified with myself.
Were you?
Yeah. So, but here's the thing: you won't find me going under 70 on a motorway, unless of course it's required.
You crazy bastard.
Yeah. So, and I always leave a load of space for the car in front. Always.
Only a fool breaks the 2-second rule.
Yeah, absolutely. But I've got the perfect blend of driving sensibly, respectfully, and leaving lots of space.
Yep.
With a healthy dose of, come on, people, let's get the fuck where we're going. We've all got somewhere to be.
Okay.
When traffic is merging, I sort of judge the speed nicely. That's,
Lovely.
the zip effect.
Oh, yes.
Big fan of that.
Yeah.
Always know exactly where I'm going in, and I'm sort of confident enough, and to make that happen. But I'm not going to push in. I'm not going to take an extra car that I should.
Here's a
not
question
entitled
for
to.
you.
Yeah.
There's 2-lane dual carriageway, right? And there's a traffic jam with roadworks. And everybody has gone over to the right-hand lane because that's the one they need to be.
Yeah.
And it's tailed all the way back, but in the right-hand lane.
Yeah.
Do you go up the inside lane?
No, I don't. I used to.
You see, I do because it's what you should do.
I get that, and I don't just because I think it's going to upset other people.
Well, I don't mind. You need to.
So I will
just
get in,
up a bit.
nice and early.
Yeah.
And I won't, but I will also be fine with other people who do it.
Yeah.
So that's my choice.
So you're saying you're quite a patient driver, then?
I am a very patient driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because what I don't like, sometimes I go up the inside, and somebody then will purposely, and that angers me, Mark. It angers me more because the tailback doesn't need to be that big.
No.
If everybody, it could be half the length.
Yeah.
And then you just merge in turn.
Yeah. But I don't think you're going to get
So
anywhere
you have to
quicker.
do.
I think either way, it's not going to make anything. The only person, but the person who's coming up the inside when nobody else is. If everyone did that,
But everybody's doing it. Everybody should be doing it.
yeah, they should be, but they're not, and that's why.
They should be, but that makes them worse drivers than me.
But
technically, it makes you a worse driver than me. Doing that
if you
makes me better than you.
Have you got like a laminated sign that you can now put up and show people? Because how are you communicating this to people?
I know in my head that I'm better than these people. Right, I'm better. I know better than they do.
Listen, I agree with you, and I've heard other people say that, and experts and stuff, so I get it, that's fine. You ask me, do I? I don't, because, I've got an ounce of decency.
I'm just saying, it just goes to show you're not the best driver in the world.
No, I think the fact that I kind of know that, but still, because nobody else knows it, so I know I'm going to be pissing all of those people off, and I want to...
I know, what you mean is you're the most considerate driver in the world.
I mean,
that's a different...
potato, mate, really, isn't it?
Okay, go on. Go on.
No, the thing you were talking about there, where people sort of will block you off.
Yes.
I used to drive a lorry, and I used to drive a 7.5-ton lorry,
a Luton,
up and down between Bristol and Oxford.
Lovely.
And it was during a time when there was constantly roadworks on, and it was going down to like 2 lanes, and I used to do that. But that was back when I was really young, and when I was young, I drove like a prick. I
would block lane.
I would block the person from coming up doing the thing that you just talked about. So I have done that, but I would never do that now.
I think you know someone, right?
I know. The other thing that makes me quite a calm driver these days is, very recently actually, within the last year, I get a company car now since I started my new job.
Ooh.
I know.
Hello.
And the last one I've got it's an automatic, because it's a hybrid.
Yes.
I was always a bit sniffy about automatics, and I think what it is that driving a manual always made me feel superior to Americans.
Yes.
And that's an important part of my life.
I just do anyway.
What?
Doesn't matter
feel
what.
Superior to Americans.
No matter what I'm doing.
In all fairness, feeling superior to an American is like shooting fish in a barrel these days, isn't it?
It's not difficult these days, is it?
Ever since January the 6th, I just got, it's impossible not to feel superior.
They lost all respect that day for me.
No, we should be, glass houses and all that.
Yeah, exactly. Careful.
Yeah. But, since I got an automatic, I'll tell you, I'm an absolute convert.
You wouldn't go back?
I would. Well, I might have to in the future, if I buy my own car again. I could get a manual. But I would prefer an automatic.
Oh,
it's so much more chilled out.
In traffic, it's so much easier.
Oh my god! So I'm total convert. So I used to be a bit sniffy about that, but I take that back now fully.
On my electric car.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, even better. So if you're in a traffic jam, my electric car's not just got an automatic; it's also got radar control. So I press a button, and if I'm in traffic, I don't have to steer.
Yep.
I don't have to push the accelerator.
Yeah.
It just follows the car in front.
But mine does a similar thing. So if you've got the cruise control on, it will speed up.
Yes, radar control.
Yeah,
yep.
And also it will keep you between 2 lines on a straight road.
Yeah.
It's not going to turn around, on roads.
No. Yeah.
But when I first realised it did that, of course, what do?
Yeah.
Take my hands off the wheel. Let's see what this baby can do.
And not much.
Well, it doesn't much. It did actually drive it perfectly fine around, sort of very gentle bends on a motorway sort of thing. But after about 30 seconds, it does not like you taking your hands off the steering wheel.
Oh, okay.
It knows, and it starts flashing at you.
Did you have to stop making that sandwich?
Yeah. So, it woke me from a very, restful nap, actually.
I had to put the lid back on the pickle.
But I don't use that, to be honest.
Okay.
I thought that was a bit of a gimmick. The reason I don't like the radar thing is that it puts too much of a gap between cars in some...
I thought you liked to leave a gap.
I do.
Because you're the best driver in the world.
But also, this falls into the I don't dick about, let's all get where the fuck we're going, people.
Yes.
Is that sometimes the car in front will be moving ahead,
and
there'll be loads of people behind me, and it will be let so much space out
it
before
seems like you're going.
Yeah, and it feels bad that I'm pissing people off behind me unnecessarily.
No, fair enough.
That's why I don't like it. It hasn't quite got that balance right.
Okay.
But yeah, so that was pretty much what I wanted to sort of address in terms of I am the best driver in the world.
You're a considerate driver.
But I also get going, I don't dawdle unnecessarily.
I think I would say I think I'm a good driver. I don't mind driving. Driving doesn't bother me at all. I can get in a car and drive for 12 hours, absolutely fine.
How are you as a passenger in a car?
I'm not brilliant as a passenger.
Yeah, if I have the choice...
But it depends upon who's the driver.
Oh,
but
the missus?
No, Mark.
Oh, so George, you're the best driver in the world.
George is a very good driver, safely on a Sunday, on the driveway. Yeah, but so... It depends who's driving. I would always prefer to be driving.
Yeah, me too.
Always.
Yeah.
I would rather. Yeah. So I would say I'd probably go a bit faster than you do.
Right.
I imagine. I like to get. It depends on. I suppose I would say I'm a good driver because I adapt. I kind of put my own speed limits in place. So if I'm on a deserted road somewhere, there's nothing around, it's early in the morning, I don't mind going a little bit over the speed limit. Right. However, if there's in the morning I'm taking my daughter to school and there's a 20 mile an hour sign, I will go 20 miles an hour.
I was going to ask you, how are you with the 20 miles an hour zone? Because there's loads of them in Bristol now.
And I think I'm fine, and I think I'm fine with it because I've got kids, and I know that, and I've taken kids to school and kind of tried to cross roads with them in prams and buggies and holding their hands and stuff. And so I always do think, okay, they're there for a reason in general.
Definitely.
And so I will, but it is difficult sometimes when it's like it's 6 o'clock at night, there's no kids around, or not 10 o'clock, and you're driving, it feels like you're walking.
So in a 20 zone, it's not uncommon that I'll be doing 25 in a 20 zone. I know.
Easy time.
It's bad.
Have you had any speeding tickets?
Well, you're actually stepping on one of my quickfires.
Go on.
But the answer is yes.
Yes.
At one point, I had 9 points on my licence. That was when I was driving the lorry in Oxford.
Okay.
Oxford is a bitch for mobile speed cameras. It is an absolute hotspot for that. But that was many, many years ago, so I haven't had a speeding ticket in like 15 years, I think.
Nice. So yeah, it makes sense. And like I say, it's just I kind of tend to on the motorway. I will sometimes venture up to 90, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think that you don't see so much speeding on a motorway. I remember being on a motorway. I would be doing minimum 90 in the fast lane, and there would be people fucking it past me. I'm doing way over 100. You don't see that so much these days, and I don't know whether that's because there's so many smart motorways now.
Yeah, maybe.
Or I don't know whether people police have got better at catching people.
Some of it depends on the motorway, the time of day, whether kind of smart motorways you can't do that on, all that kind of thing, and it's just sort of. Yeah, I kind of make up my own speed limits as I go along.
Well, that's not how laws work, Paul, is it?
No.
I make up my own libel rules as well. So, absolutely. That's why I can say...
That's why you can call Noel Edmonds a bellend.
Yeah, and I can say whatever I want about Prince Andrew. And there's not a thing you can do about it according to my libel rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Or slander, should I say.
Right.
Because it's a verbal...
Oh, that's
medium.
right. Yeah, it's written rather than. Yeah, that's a good save because you were going to have to do that in next week's podcast.
Yeah, true. Right, with that, I think we're going to ding the bell and then we're going to crack on with some quick fires.
Oh, looking forward to it.
Here we go. I'm now going to do a quickfire round, so I'm going to fire some quickfire questions at Paul.
Get my opinions.
Get your opinions on some quickfire
subjects.
There we go. Motoring related. Obs.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Number one.
Yes.
If you were a car,
go on.
What car would you be?
Oh, good question. If I was a car, I would be, because it matters, right?
Because it matters.
No, it matters. This really matters, Mark.
We've never said anything that matters less in our lives.
Mark, listen, I would be nothing too flashy, a bit odd, but let's think about something that was sort of mid-70s sort of car, maybe, quite interesting, got a bit of character, I hope.
What about one of those Rovers that the police used to use as the jam sandwich cars?
Oh, a Rover. Oh, I can't remember what they're called now. Is it an 800? No, but the big ones. Yeah, maybe. I think I'd be a Porsche 911.
Really?
But I'd sort of not.
Talk me through that.
Yeah. So, Germanic in efficiency.
Right. Yeah.
Not too flashy, but sort of reliable.
I mean, the viewers couldn't see the look on my face then, so I'll try and sort of turn that into an audio cue.
Yeah, go on.
What?
There we go. So I think that's what I would be, and you're not allowed to argue with me on that because that's my opinion.
It's your opinion.
You're not allowed.
Quick fire, and it's not that I'm not allowed. I haven't got time because it's quick fire.
Yeah, quick fire. Fire another one.
Next one. What is the hardest motorsport?
hardest motorsport.
Yeah, so what I'm getting at here is like, is it harder to be an F1 driver or a rally driver or some other discipline?
Well, you see, I think it's probably rally driving.
I do as well. That shit is mental.
Back when I was young, my dad took me and my brother to see the Rally of Wales in the middle of the night somewhere.
And this is like the Colin McRae era or something like that?
A bit before
Right,
Colin
okay.
McRae. Sort of Harkankanen kind of time.
Wow, okay. Great.
And sort of, the absolute skill it must take. And the guts, because in Formula One, I don't get me wrong, I think it's very difficult.
Yeah.
But the safety features and the walls, if you hit a wall, nowadays, and the features that have come on are amazing.
Yeah.
If you, like,
You can fall off a
side
cliff.
of a mountain.
You can fall off a cliff
exactly,
in a rally car.
Or go into a tree, or turn over and roll the thing. Yeah, rallying.
Yeah, no, I agree. Sadly, actually, I think I heard in the news very recently, the last week or two, a rally driver died in testing, one of the WRC drivers.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't surprise me. I'm surprised that more of them don't.
I agree. Absolutely. Okay, next one. What are your thoughts about driverless cars?
You see, this is interesting. I think it's really interesting. I've read recently quite a bit on AI and actually, some of the evidence of driverless cars is they're safer than...
I think that there is the sort of computer side of things, the algorithm side of things, already exists, that if every car on the road was automated, the road deaths would drop by 95%.
But what you're saying is the mix of driverless and driverful cars.
Driverful cars.
Driverful cars and driverless
cars full of
cars.
drivers,
Yeah, that's the dangerous thing.
Yeah, well, no, I think that driverless cars are safer than most drivers.
Yeah.
So I think that the more I think that as driverless cars become more prevalent, road deaths will go down.
Yes.
And when everything is driverless, the comparison to road death now and at that time,
but isn't there
it will be vast.
But the propensity for these things to go wrong, that's what gets me. Does a computer in a car go wrong more often than a driver in a car?
No, definitely not.
Well, you didn't know that, did you?
Well,
you said that with so much certainty. Like you've been working for Tesla for the last 15 years.
No, I think that once, the technology pretty much exists now. There are driverless cars. There are those taxis in, Silicon Valley and the various things. Now, I know there has been at least one or two fatalities
Yes,
now.
there has, yeah. But how many has there been of normal people driving driverless
Exactly.
cars?
So, you're never going to eliminate that. And I think that whilst there's always human drivers...
How many deaths is enough for you, Mark?
8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
No, obviously I'm being flippant. Any
7.
death is obviously tragic. But
God, all right. We're at the stage now where
Keep
we've
it
got
light,
to
Mark.
state on the podcast that every death is obviously tragic. Is it though? Is it? Or is every death tragic?
I mean,
I don't think it is.
everyone's got like a mum, haven't they?
I don't think Jimmy Savile, was that tragic?
I mean, at the time we didn't know, so it kind of was. But
when you look back,
in retrospect, it was probably for the best. Yeah,
probably not.
Yeah, no, agreed. Okay. The other thing that occurred to me with driverless cars, but the more I hear about driverless cars, the less I think this was actually going to be reality. But my dream, when I first started hearing about this, was, you could drive home from the pub. That would really could revolutionise your social experience. Taxi drivers would be a thing of the past because you could just get in your own car, but
you get in your own car, driverless, and you go, been busy?
Yeah. Okay, you're going to need to stop at a cash point.
First thing, complete silence, starts going. What time are you on to?
Yeah, what time are you knocking off? But the more I hear about it is somebody's got to be responsible, at least for now. Maybe at some point in the future it will be, fully autonomous and it will be like, I don't know, getting on a train, essentially. It'll be the equivalent of getting on a train.
Yeah.
You're just a passenger.
Yeah.
But I think in our lifetimes, potentially, we will see autonomous driverless technology getting more and more.
Yeah.
But I don't think in our lifetime we're ever going to have a driverless car driving us home from the pub, or at least, especially my driverless car driving me home from the pub.
Okay, so you won't own one to do that for you, right? Yeah.
Well, no, it's just that I think I might own one, but I just in my lifetime.
So would you like it to be that you could drive it to the pub?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and then you park,
Yeah.
And then you go and have your, what is it you normally have on 12 Jaeger bombs?
That's right.
Isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And then you just get in the car and you just...
and a
it
blue
takes you home.
wicked.
And a blue wicked.
Yeah.
And it just takes you home.
Exactly. What I
Parks
think...
in your drive.
Yep.
Yeah, opens the automatic gates that you've got.
And it's all the interior is wiped clean. So
okay, let's not...
you deal with all the puke and stuff the next morning.
Yeah.
Just hose it down.
Just hose it down.
Yeah.
Pressure wash it.
What I think is, I've read this somewhere and it made a lot of sense, is that in the future you won't own their own car. There will be a network of driverless cars.
Yes.
It'll be like, bikes in Amsterdam that they're so plentiful, and it will be so much more efficient because there'll be far fewer cars on the road.
Yeah.
Because, you
only
won't
use them
just
when
be
you want.
driving once, parking it somewhere. They'll always be like moving around, and it'll be really easy. I mean, this is like maybe 50 years.
A bit sad, I think, that is, isn't it?
Well, no, I think it's good.
I think it's a bit sad.
Well, that's because you're a fucking Neanderthal petrol head.
Yeah.
Wake up and
my
smell the
quick-fire
revolution.
questions. You can't tell me what I do and don't feel sad
Fine.
about.
All right, let's take it down a notch with what's the best car snack?
Car snack?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just some kind of crisp, isn't it?
Well, you got crumbs and stuff in a car. That car seats collect crumbs. I collect.
Well, listen. Lego.
Thimbles?
Lego.
Lego,
Do you
there we
collect thimbles? Lego collect commemorative spoons. Maybe not. So I don't like anything. I don't like anything warm as a car snack. That's not right for me.
Right, okay.
Doesn't fit.
So that would be like you wouldn't go to a McDonald's, get
Like
a burger
a
and eat that.
Ginsters. I'm thinking a pasty, a Cornish pasty, something.
Right.
You stopped at. This is what I'm imagining this question is about, right?
Okay.
It's 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm driving home. I've had a meeting.
Right.
I'm in London.
This is AA.
Exactly. What the automobile is.
Exactly. No, I'm with the RAC actually.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I'm driving home from London, and I'm thinking I don't want to get a full meal. I'm going to have a snack because when I get home, George has cooked me a spaghetti bolognese.
Is that all that she would have ever cooked you?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So and so we get. I need a snack. I call in at the motorway service station. Mm-hmm. At the motorway service station, there's a WH Smith's, there's an M&S Food,
Yeah.
and there's maybe a Cornish pasty company.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm walking past the Cornish pasty company.
Right. I see.
Because I'm not trying to deal with a pasty whilst driving a car.
Yeah.
Nobody wants, right? So I've walked past that. Maybe thought about WH Smith's because what I'm thinking maybe is maybe some Haribo, maybe some Tangfastics.
Oh, okay.
But you see, that's not a snack for me. That's a sweet. Mm-hmm. That's different, right? Mm-hmm. Sweets and snacks different. Snacks, savoury, sweets, sweet. It's in the name.
Right? No,
Right?
I don't think I agree with that. A snack is any quick bit of food. But anyway, fine. You carry on. This is your opinion. I interrupted.
Yep. So I'm walking straight past there, and I'm going to Marks and Spencer's. Mark is where I'm going. I've walked past the.
What? You getting a sandwich?
No. No, because you've got to open a sandwich isn't a snack.
What?
A sandwich is part of a meal.
Sandwich is like the epitome of a snack. When you say snack, people think of a sandwich.
No, that's a lunch.
No, it's a snack item.
No.
Oh, okay.
You don't go, I've had my lunch. I'm just waiting for my dinner. I tell you what I'll do, I'll have a sandwich.
Well, I'm the sort of person that I would have a snack sandwich between meals.
But nobody else would, Mark.
Well, yeah, maybe.
So I'm then heading. I'm going to get a bag of crisps. I'm going to get a packet of. If they've got them, and maybe I'm going into too much detail on this question.
I mean, there's no rules. I think you are.
I'm
rules.
getting a thick cut, ridged, ready salted crisp because it's got some structural integrity. Because what I'm doing is I'm opening the bag and I'm putting them between my thighs. Whilst I'm driving, right?
What, each individual crisp?
No, the bag.
Oh, I see. Okay.
You had to warm them up.
Yeah.
And I'm just eating them like that. And then I'm probably, to be honest, I'm using my trouser as a napkin there.
Right.
With a little bit of grease from
why your trousers are always greasy on the thighs?
Yeah.
That does
Probably.
make a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm eating, maybe if I've got a tissue, if I've got something, maybe I'm wiping my, but I'm on my thigh really there.
Okay.
So yeah, I think so.
I
What about
mean,
you?
for me, there is only one answer to that, and
that?
it's a boiled sweet out of one of those tins that you always find in old people's.
It was coated with the old icing
Yeah,
sugar.
with the icing
travel
sugar,
sweets. But
yeah.
you see, that's not a snack.
Well,
You wouldn't say I'm hungry. I'm gonna have one of those little boiled sweets covered in icing sugar.
I thought I'd use the word snack here, which was just like a bit of a catch-all food. What food might you have in a car? Obviously, it's not a sit-down meal. Anything else is a snack
What?
potentially.
No, what you should have said was, what would you eat in a car? Which is not.
Well, that's what I thought I said until
didn't say that,
Mr.
you said
Pedantic
snack.
started. Yeah, but that's what a snack is. Just some sort of. Listen, let's not get
Hang on.
bogged down.
And by the way, this really is playing right into your hands or right into my hands. It's not a pedantist, it's a pedant. And that is irony.
Is that? Did I?
You just called me a pedantist.
I don't think I did. Or did I? All right. Well,
If only there was some way of finding out.
maybe we'll never know. I'm gonna have to keep that in now because if I just not notice that, that's the sort of thing that I might edit out. Go, oh fucking hell, I said that wrong. I'll just edit that whole thing out. But you're gonna remember now, so I'm not gonna be able to do that.
No.
All right, and then the last one is... So we've already sort of touched on this,
Go on.
but have you ever been on a speed awareness course?
Mark.
I am there every week.
Mark.
I've got a standing reservation at the speed awareness
I
course.
have been to 3 speed awareness courses in
Wow.
my time.
Oh, so they're quite effective then.
Yeah, and I just got done for speeding about 4 weeks ago.
Really?
And I couldn't go on another one because it was in 3 years of going on the speed awareness course before.
So you've taken the points now, have you?
I've had to take the 3 points.
So how many points are on your licence right now?
Only 3
Just
points.
those 3.
Only 3 points. I have before, to my shame, had my licence taken away from me for
Have
2
you?
weeks. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
What was that for? Talk us through that. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we've tapped into some red hot news here. Stand by.
So I had borrowed my father's car to go and pick up my then girlfriend, now wife,
Right.
from university and drive back down. I was driving back down the motorway on the M5 at the time, south of Birmingham, going sort of past Cheltenham Stroud way. And I was going quite fast.
How fast are we talking?
I was going about...
Over a ton.
I was doing about 115 miles an hour.
Whoa.
And my then girlfriend, now wife,
Yes.
said,
You can just say your wife.
said, careful, I think that's a police car up on that bridge.
Oh, no.
And I said, no.
Fuck off, woman.
No. I said, it's motorway maintenance, George.
Oh, really?
Don't be stupid. And I carried on.
Oh, mate.
And about 10 minutes later, there was some blue lights behind me that pulled me over.
Yeah.
And the policeman came up and knocked on the window and said, surprised I caught up with you, sir.
Amazing.
And I went and sat in the back for a while.
I got a lot of respect for that as an opening gambit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I then had to go to court, and then I had my license taken away from me for...
So is that from no points to licence taken away?
Yes.
Because that is a...
They clocked me at 108 miles an hour.
Wow.
And so I then had to go to court. I then had to plead, because at the time I had my own business, and I said, listen, if I can't be on the road. So they took my license away from me for 2 weeks and fined me, I think it was about £1,600.
Right, okay.
So I had a higher fine, but a smaller
Yeah,
fine.
so I was just thinking 2 weeks, that's nothing really, is it? That's
No.
not like... But I mean, it must have been... I'm sure it was an inconvenience for
It
2
was,
weeks,
it
but
was.
£1,600, that's a hefty fine.
Yes, it was, and at the time it was
Yeah.
quite a thing. It was like, oh, and since then as well, the thing that's hurt the most
Yeah.
is the fact that I said it was motorway.
That your wife was right.
And that is the thing that has hurt the most.
It's like, Judge, have I not suffered enough?
Every time.
Yeah.
So that's, yes, I have had points.
Wow.
I have had also a license taken away from me. I'm not proud of that, Mark.
So, I mean, I'm not trying to, play Johnny Big Balls here, but I've never been on a speed awareness course. Now, I can't get too pious about that because I have been done for speeding. It's just that wasn't a thing.
At the
The
time.
last time I got
Yeah.
done for speeding, and I got, like I said, I had 9 points in my life. I got three lots of 3 points in the space of about 6 months, all in Oxford, all
Okay.
driving this bloody 7.5 ton lorry,
Nice.
all doing like 35 and a 30 or something like that.
Still speeding, Mark.
Yes, it's still speeding. But
So the first speed awareness course that I went to.
yeah,
was
talk
in
me through the course, because I've never been on one. What are we talking about?
So the first one was the first two actually were at the same Holiday Inn conference room,
Really?
which were and you basically go, and it's, to be fair, it's not.
Did you book a room and make a weekend out of it?
Exactly, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to go and use the spa at lunchtime. It's a good course, and it's not so preachy, and it all makes sense, and it's informative, and they've obviously done it so that it kind of is a bit more interactive, and it's fine. The second one, I knew all the answers.
It's not, you're not forced to look at sort of horrific road crashes for 3 hours.
Yeah, but they tell you the reasons for the speed limits and all that sort of stuff.
Of course.
And then the last one I went was a Zoom one, and that was
ironic.
Interesting. Hey, that was interesting because 3 of the people that were on it were in bed.
Oh my god!
Actually, in bed on a phone.
Amazing.
And I was, I kind of think, listen.
So
right,
you'd put a suit on.
Full suit, a tail suit.
Yeah, of course.
Top hat, monocle.
Why take the
pocket
chance?
watch.
Yeah,
yeah. Who knows, right? So so that was that one, and it's all right. But I'm the sort of person that would never argue with that because it's fair. It's fair enough.
It's a fair cop. It's a fair cop, Gov.
Yeah, I was speeding.
Yeah,
I got caught speeding, and you've got to suffer the consequences of it.
No, I agree completely.
Yeah, so there we go. That's a
Excellent.
little story of my woe.
So that was my last quickfire. I should say that at least, I think 3 of those were actually Neil's quickfires.
Oh, right, so you couldn't even bother to think
Well,
of some quickfires
I was speaking to him earlier in the week, and I was sort of saying, I don't think we're going to have the gear for you to be able to come along tonight.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh well, here are my quickfires I would have done," and I'd only done 2. So I told him I would, but I also said I'd give him the credit. So just to be fair,
it's a bit needy, isn't he?
The bar snack, the speed awareness
not
course,
bar snack, car snack.
Car snack, sorry.
That's a different question. Bar snack.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
You're not having a boiled sweet for that, are you?
So the car snack, speed awareness course were both Neil's.
Where do you get those little tins full of travel sweets?
You'll definitely see them in service stations.
Do you?
Yeah, and I think you'll probably find them in most sort of petrol station shops. I think you'll see them in there a lot.
I call bullshit on that.
But I think that's the only place you'll find them.
Okay.
I think you could go to a supermarket. You would find them in the petrol station, but you wouldn't find them in the actual store.
Do you know where I think I've seen them, Mark?
Go on.
Garden centres. And that's because...
No, that's a fever dream, surely.
No, I think it's because they're the 2 natural bedfellows of old people.
Right, okay.
I genuinely think...
You know where I've seen them? Crematoriums. I think that's probably...
Crematoria?
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not sure. I just wondered.
I mean, you could have just let the joke land. You didn't then have to... There's no need for that, really, was there?
Oh, apologies for that.
Anyway, that was my quickfire questions for Paul. Because I haven't done that thing I was going to do from what you did last time, I'll do it myself this time. Quiz time!
Nice. I'd forgotten all about that.
Yeah, do you know, it only occurred to me that I am planning on, maybe I was going to put a little bit of music around it or something,
Lovely.
and we'll turn that into the start of the quiz.
Oh,
but
yes, please.
I completely forgot to do that before tonight's episode, so yeah, there
It's
you
either
go.
that or ask Neil to write a theme tune. A full theme tune.
As long as he hasn't got to sing on it, I love the guy.
Yeah.
He's pretty average.
He's a plain...
He's average.
Workaday.
He's average in every way, except he's got an way below average voice.
Oh, really?
Really
That's a
awful.
shame.
Yeah. Other than that,
Just a normal guy.
Doesn't really register.
No.
Sorry, Neil. So Neil's very kindly done us another quiz.
Thanks, Neil.
Motoring based. I've got a horrible feeling that if Neil's done what I think he might have done,
Go on.
which is going to be something, it's going to be very specific to knowing
Highway code.
roads.
I'm thinking it might be a highway code.
I'd be better at that probably.
Would you?
Because if it's like, what service station is on the M62? I've got no. I just don't.
Well, let's stop guessing.
Should we just do it?
Yeah. What if he's done Formula 1 drivers of the 1950s?
I'm just putting out there.
Shit.
If he's done what I think he might have done, or something along those lines, then I'm not feeling very confident. And just
what
to
do you want to
recap-
do? Just stop now?
No, I don't. I want
Right.
to do the quiz. I'm just basically.
What makes you think I'm going to be more confident at that?
Because I reckon you've driven around the country more than I have. That's what I think.
Okay.
So I think you've got more knowledge of specific roads and like that sort of thing.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll see. So I'm going to open it up. Oh, and just to recap, it's currently 4.5 to you, 2.5 to me.
Yes.
If I lose this,
Yeah.
I'm my
the
heart's gonna.
What's the point in you anymore?
Yeah, it's just I think my head's gonna go.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be it's gonna feel an unassailable gap.
Not just feel, it probably will be.
Yeah, I think it's probably fair. Here we go. Here's another bog standard run of the mill quiz. Oh, you see what he's done there?
See what he's done, yeah. He's really leaning into it.
Your late middle-aged workaday brother. I'm sure it will be harmless enough and hopefully fine. Ah, he's good, isn't he?
I just like him
And he
shooting
listens.
for fine. He's got a lot of ambition, hasn't he?
Yeah. Right, here we go. So, interesting. Question number 1. What car manufacturer has the slogan, "The Power of Dreams"?
Okay, yeah.
I'm not sure, but I've got a pretty good idea of that.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'll have a go.
Okay. Oh, this isn't a theme. This is all over the place. So,
Jesus. Neil.
question 2. You ready?
Yeah.
What is the current price of a new VW Golf GTI? This is the standard price showing on the VW website without any additional costs for things like metallic paint, alloy wheels, etc.
No options, mate. Just standard. Isn't
Bulk standard, run of the mill.
it? No options. All right. Yep, I've got that.
Oh, hang on.
A GTI.
GTI, Golf GTI.
Okay.
All right, yeah, I've got something for that.
I'm changing mine.
All
Go
right,
on.
question
Yeah, carry
3. What was the UK's best-selling car in 2022?
The UK's best-selling car
Yeah.
in 2022.
Correct.
Okay.
I've got no fucking idea.
Okay, I'm going to go for... I've got one.
I don't know. Hang on, I haven't got anything yet.
Okay, let's just sit here and talk for a bit.
Don't worry, we'll edit out all the big gaps. I have to do that every time anyway.
Oh, do we?
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
Fair enough.
That's the most editing I do every episode is editing
the
out the
quiz.
gaps whilst we're thinking of our questions. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, I won't worry too much about the excruciating silence whilst I watch your head whir around.
So, I mean, hopefully there's no points for spelling, but yes, I've got something.
Okay.
And 4. Who was the last non-European winner of the Formula One Drivers' Championship? Now then.
Non-European.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Yep.
All right, hang on, I'm still thinking.
Yep. Oh no, that's not right. That's right.
Okay, I've got something. Again, I'm not confident on that. Number 5. In what year was the first motorway open in the UK?
That's a good one, isn't it? Yep.
All right, I've got something for that.
Yes.
Okay, you ready?
Hang on, I'm just changing my mind on that. Yep. Yes, I'm ready. I've got all of my answers down, Mark.
Okay, here we go. Here comes the
Fire
answers.
away, yep.
So, question 1. Which car manufacturer has the slogan, "The Power of Dreams"?
I've put Audi.
Oh, I've got Honda.
Is it?
It is Honda.
Of course it is, yeah.
You're thinking of Versprung durch Technique, aren't
Yes, yep, I am.
you? 1-0 up. Come on, here we go.
Come on, Mark.
What is the current price of a new VW Golf GTI? What have you got?
I've got £32,000.
Ooh, I've got £35,000, and the answer is £37,915.
Oh, you're 2-0 up.
2-0 up.
Wow.
What is... Oh my god. What is the UK's best-selling car in 2022?
I've put the Nissan Qashqai.
I've also put the Nissan Qashqai, and that's correct.
Is it?
Fucking hell, I can't believe I got that right. Oh god, this is... Oh, sorry, I've just seen the next one. Who was the last non-European winner of the Formula One Drivers' Championship?
I've put Jacques Villeneuve.
I've also put Jacques Villeneuve, which is correct.
Oh, nice.
And... Oh, well... Closest wins. In what year was the first motorway open in the UK?
I've put 1962.
I've put 1956.
Okay.
The answer is 1958.
Oh, wow. So you've got that one as well.
Clean sweep, baby. 5 out of 5.
Boom.
How'd you like them apples, you fucking motherfucker? I'm so sorry.
I don't think there's any need
I'm
for
so
that.
sorry.
I mean, I think the most important thing is to be a gracious winner as well as a gracious
Oh, no,
loser.
man. In your 2 points down, you can go fuck yourself for that
5 out of
nonsense.
5.
5 out of 5.
5 on 5.
And that was like... Oh, God, hang on. Dropping everything now. That was... And there was like...
Going to be excited there. aren't
Two
you?
there. Well, actually, Jack Villeneuve, I was reasonably confident on that. I do follow F1 a bit.
Yeah.
So, but I was
Yeah,
just
I'd
thinking
gone
there
all
must...
the way, but I'd gone to Ayrton Senna
Right.
as a Brazilian, and then I was like, nowhere else could there
I was
be. 'Cause
thinking, like,
Villeneuve's Canadian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was thinking, like, did Massa get it one year? And, like, no, he didn't. No,
he didn't,
obviously
did he?
not. But
Nice. Oh, well, I'm quite happy to have got 2 right there.
you got 2 out of that, didn't you?
£37,000 for a
For a-
VW Golf GTI.
Yeah, but, you know,
That's inflation
it's going to
for it,
have
isn't
matte paint and it's going to have steel wheels, so what's the point?
I'm not.
You're never going to pick up ladies in that.
It might come with those things. What he's saying is there's no extra bits on it.
Right, I see. I see.
Oh, well done, Mark.
Yeah, I'm really pleased. He's also done a tiebreaker.
Oh, go
so
on, let's
just,
see if you
just
can
for
go.
fun.
Oh, right,
Okay. According to Google Maps, and this time I've remembered not to look at the next email.
right, well done.
According to Google Maps, how long would it take to drive from Mark's house in Fish Ponds, Bristol,
Yep.
to Wembley Stadium? This is at 6:30 a.m. on a Monday. It's the standard route with pretty good traffic. Pretty
Wembley.
good traffic? A couple of short amber areas. Oh, I see. So relatively low traffic, I think. A couple of short amber areas on the M4 around the M25, and as you get closer to London. So has he done this at 6:30? And he's got young children. He
hasn't done. He's just put it into Google Maps.
Oh, and you can put the time in,
Yeah.
and it tells you that.
Yeah.
But the amber bit, it's just guessing the amber bit. It's not.
Well, it's just at that particular time. That's where the traffic is.
Yeah, but then it's not live data, so you're putting in.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
All right.
Wembley. That's North
Okay,
London.
so
That's
my
a bit
house
of
to
a nightmare.
Wembley, and this is going to be not as the crow flies. Obviously, it will be the actual.
What do you mean as the crow? Because it's not as the crow
I
flies.
might be taking my helicopter.
Because then
You don't know.
I might be taking my crow. Okay, so let's go to 6:30, 7:30, 8:30.
Oh, it's time we're looking for, not distance. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, how long will it take?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got it. I've got one.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
All right, what have you got?
I've got 3 hours and 27 minutes.
Ooh, I went 2 hours, 32 minutes. Do you think I've undercooked that? We'll see,
it's
shall we?
Considering your form today, Mark.
Yeah. Oh, no, wrong one. Here we go. Oh my God. What I've got, so it's 2 hours, 23 minutes. So I've got all the right figures. I've just got the 3 and the 2 round the other way.
You're never doing that in 2 hours 20 to Wembley.
Well, I always think to London it's roughly 2 hours, and then it's 30
Well,
minutes to get wherever you're going in London. That's...
But it's North London. You've got to get across London.
Yeah, but he's driving like a cunt like you used to, so that's why.
Yeah, that's fair, I
Yeah,
suppose.
he's doing
So
108.
that's another clean sweep. It's...
Yeah, 6 out of 6.
Jeez, mate.
Good grief! Oh, that just
Made your night, isn't it?
couldn't be
Happy
more
with
pleased.
that. Yeah, happy with that.
All right, I'm just gonna calm down.
3.5, 4.5, yeah?
3.5, 4.5. I'm just gonna
3.5.
calm my breathing,
4.5. Well,
and I'm gonna
yeah, ding the bell.
and
Ding the bell.
I just want to
Ding it.
I just wanted
Ding
to.
the
I just
bell.
wanted to be a little bit magnanimous before I ring the bell. That I apologise for all the swearing and all the hoopla.
I mean, literally, everybody, he, like, dropped stuff. He bounced up and down on his chair like a little child.
It's
You should have seen his face.
it's authentic.
It's
That's what the listeners
unfortunate
want.
This is an audio medium.
They
That, honestly.
don't want some sterile, emotionless
Ding the
drone. All right, here I'm going to
Ding
ding
the
the bell.
fuck. Ding the.
All right, dinging it.
Big topic, motoring section. Been looking forward to this all week, Mark.
Have you?
Yeah, I really have.
Well, this is because you've got more of a petrol head credentials than I have, so I wouldn't be surprised. I when I did my list, by the way, was kind of like, oh yeah, I've owned very few, and they're all shit cars.
Well, some of my cars were shit cars, but this whole topic is very much in my, if you'll permit me to say, alloy wheelhouse.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Thanks.
So, just so you know, dear listener, sorry, we've gone and rushed ahead here, but what we're going to do in this section, we're going to list the cars we've owned chronologically.
Yep.
And we're just going to talk a little bit about each car, what we liked about it, what we didn't. Well, and I think, so, because I'm not at all a petrol head, that's why I've got a tiny list, and they're all shit. So my list is going to be quite small, and it's going to be more of an emotional thing. Where was I in my life at that time? What did that car mean to me? Paul's got like 3 times as many as I have.
You see, I think it's interesting because it's almost like it's like a desert island discs for me, but through cars. Do you know what I mean? But like the things that were happening, and you can very much tell, like my life through cars, probably when you look at this, like an autobiography.
Oh, I like it. I was just going to say that would be the title of your autobiography, but yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Autobiography?
No, as in my life through cars or something.
Desert Island Cars.
Yeah. But anyway, so I'm just going to quickly run through mine because that won't take very long. So when I passed my test, I was still living with my parents at the time. Didn't have my own car. My mum had an Austin Metro.
Oh, nice.
So when I passed the first car I ever drove on my own, and most significantly, and I remember this so clearly, could have the radio on, because driving instructors don't like having the radio on.
No.
Yeah, that's really frowned upon.
Yep.
So the first time I passed my test, I could go out on my own, and it was one of the most sense of just freedom and elation. I remember it so well. It was absolutely exciting. And on the radio, I can't remember what station I was listening to. On the radio, Bryan Adams' Summer of '69 came on.
Lovely.
And I remember, and it was quite a sunny day. And that was that was probably one of my all-time favourite drives, is that first day when I passed my test and I could go out on my own.
So tell me a couple of things.
Sure.
The colour of the Metro?
It was like quite a light blue.
Nice.
Like a sort of bluey sort of colour.
Was there any kind of derivation of it? Was like a Carnival, or was it an LX?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Cassette deck or just radio?
Cassette.
Okay.
Very much cassette.
Okay, great. That's the sunroof?
No. 5-door though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
5-door Metro?
5-door Metro. No, actually, sorry, I lied. The Austin Metro was 3-door.
Okay.
But they switched up the Austin Metro to a Rover Metro.
Yes.
Now, this motherfucker was 1.4.
Oh.
It was
Bit of grunt.
Bit of grunt, especially in a car that size.
Yeah,
it was automatic.
Wow.
Which was quite unusual at the time.
Yeah.
So that was, even though I started
Is this the
driving,
next car?
This is the next car.
That they got, okay.
Yeah, so for my mum, basically, she got rid of the old Austin Metro, bought a Rover Metro. It was bright red.
Nice.
And even though it was the Austin Metro that I sort of passed my tests and stuff, actually most of my childhood driving my parents' car was this Rover Metro. And I loved it because it really went for a car that's like, and because it was an automatic, it was like driving a go-kart basically.
And tell me, could you drive it whenever you wanted? What were the
Pretty
rules
much.
of
So
driving
at
the
one
car?
point, so my brother passed his test before. He's older than I am.
Yep.
So I would share with him, but he was off to uni at one point.
He just probably did normal, average things in the car, presumably. Did he? Just normal guy
Yeah.
doing normal, everyday, mundane things.
I don't think he ever troubled the police in it, to be honest.
Probably not.
Probably not.
Just drove places, drove back from places.
Yeah, and not even that interesting places as well, I would have thought.
Probably not. But go on.
But I loved that car. It was fast as hell, and that was the one that I was like, I remember taking mates, and that was 5-door. And I remember that was quite useful, because sometimes we'd get like 6 people in it, like you used to when you were kids, and you'd all pile in the one car. But that was a great car. I really enjoyed that.
Okay.
Brings me on to my first car I ever owned.
Right.
And it was an old style VW Polo.
Oh, yeah.
Manual choke.
Oh, yes.
So it was old enough to be manual choke.
Lovely.
I'm pretty sure the registration number was, like they started having the year in it.
Yeah.
But there was ones before that.
Yes.
It was one of those old number plates.
So so you're being quite exact with the number plate there.
Well, I don't remember what the number plate was, but
really? Okay.
I'm just saying, that so when I was growing up, you could tell how old a car was by the registration number.
Yeah.
And they've since changed the system again. So our current system is...
Well, it was like a Y reg or
That's right, it was the letter.
It was the letter. But now there's a 5-1 or a 7-1
But
or
before the
7-2,
letter... So it was before the A of the letter system.
Oh, okay.
So it was before that. And I don't even know what the system was then, or even if there was a system like that then.
No.
So that's sort of how old
it's like
this
the
thing
wild
was.
west of registration plates there.
But it was my first car I owned, so it sort of does hold a bit of a special place with me.
How much did you buy it for?
I don't remember, to be honest. It was hundreds.
Okay.
Like, several hundred, I would imagine.
What colour was it?
It was blue again.
Light blue, navy?
It's quite light blue, not quite azure, but not as dark as navy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it was a crap car. I remember the choke thing didn't work very well, so sometimes it would just, like, the power would just completely go, and I wouldn't be able to figure the choke thing out.
Yeah.
And also, the petrol tank started leaking pretty badly, which is why I eventually had to let it go.
Yeah,
but
you
I was of
probably
that
would, right?
age and had so little money that I drove where I could smell petrol all the time. Because it was leaking out there.
Classic.
And I'd go in and there'd be a pool of petrol under my car.
Yeah.
And I'd always turn the engine on like a mafioso worried about the car's about to explode. That would be my...
Also, back in the day when, petrol prices weren't quite as high.
yeah.
That you
I could afford to just leave it all on the
have
road.
it
So.
piss all over your driveway overnight.
But anyway, that was my first car. And then because the petrol was leaking so bad, I bought my second car, which was a white Citroen ZX.
Oh, ZX, slightly bigger.
So
right?
it's a little bit bigger. It was a hatchback.
Yep.
It drove pretty badly. No power steering. So
Yep.
no car I've mentioned so far had power steering, for example.
blimey.
It was fine. Although I say that, when it was working, it was fine. But there was shitloads of problems with it.
Right.
So I had to replace all kinds of stuff. Spent a lot of money on it. The Polo, in all fairness, I didn't spend that much money on. But I drove it until it literally died. I should have been spending money on it.
Right.
But I didn't have it for that long. The ZX I had for a few years.
Yep.
And it was troublesome. So, it broke down on a number of, holidays down to Cornwall and stuff like this, and it was
Yep.
a real ball ache, and I had to spend a fortune on it. So I don't remember that particularly fondly.
Yeah.
Next car, though, now this is the nicest car I've ever owned.
Okay.
It was I believe it was a 1.6 Vauxhall Astra.
Ooh.
Saloon.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
nice.
It was burgundy.
Ooh.
But what it was the best quality car I've ever owned.
Oh, right, yeah.
So it felt like a bit of a grown-up's car.
Yes.
And actually, even though it was a Vauxhall, which I know isn't like a luxury
No,
thing,
no.
it's pretty well built. It felt pretty solid,
Back in the day?
and it drove well. So when I used to drive like a bit of a prick, when I would do 100 down the motorway sometimes,
Easy.
that is the car I would do it in, because it had the performance for it as well.
Yes.
So I loved it. It was the first car I had with a CD player,
Oh.
which was great.
Just a single?
Just a single CD
In
player.
and out, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
What colour? You haven't...
Burgundy.
Oh, you did say. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I apologise.
Yeah. So, but again, it had quite a few problems with it. So again, it broke down. I
Yeah.
had to change. God, I don't know anything about cars, but it was all loads of stuff I had to change.
Solenoid. It's always the solenoid.
It might have been. I had to do the fan belt kit. I had to get a new fan belt
yeah.
kit at one point. That was
Oh,
quite
no.
expensive.
Was it slipping? Was it like making that squeaky
Yeah,
noise?
it did. I needed to, the brakes needed changing on it, and loads of stuff needed doing on it.
Any idea how much you paid for that?
Well, that
old
I actually got on finance. So that was the
Oh,
first car
really?
I
Right.
bought on finance. So I was
Okay.
sort of paying that
On
off
the
per
Never
month.
Never.
And I'm guessing I paid
You're
probably
still-
paid tens of
You're still
thousands.
paying for it.
Yeah.
And how old would you have been with the Astra?
I reckon.
Was it not? Am I being the? It might have been the one before, but the saloon Astras were called Belmonts, I think.
No, I don't.
Was
This
it
one.
Vauxhall Belmont. I
No.
might have that wrong in my
I think
head.
a Vauxhall Club.
Something like that. I don't know. But anyway, go on.
Yeah, but when it was working, it was the best car I've ever owned in terms of performance
Right.
and ride
Nice.
and general feel, and it felt like a proper grown-up's car, and because it was a saloon as well, felt like a proper size car.
Yeah.
Everything I'd had up
Lots of
until
friends
then.
in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, plenty of great times. So that was probably the best car I've ever owned.
Oh, nice.
However, when that did finally pack in, I then bought the last car I owned.
Right.
That was a Kia
Ooh.
Rio
Oh,
Chill spec.
Chill's back.
So the Chill had a little spoiler, had alloy wheels,
Oh, wow.
it had electric windows.
Nice.
It was an '08 plate, and I think I bought it in about 2014.
Right. Okay.
But it only had 20,000 miles on it.
Oh.
So I think they basically said that it had one previous elderly owner.
Yeah, Vicar.
Which I know is
Yeah.
what they do say, but
Yeah.
but I reckon that was probably true.
Of course. Yeah.
So here's the deal: it was 1.4.
Yep.
It was 5-door. It was central locking, but it didn't have a key fob. You had to actually turn the key in it.
Yeah.
It didn't have a CD player. It had a tape deck in it.
Oh, okay.
So it was like really old spec sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it went. It just lasted for years and years and years.
Nice.
And actually, for my purposes, it was fine. Because I had at those point, smartphones were good enough.
Yeah.
So that was my sat nav and Spotify or BBC
But when did
Sounds
you
or
get
whatever.
rid of the Kia Rio?
When I started my new job,
So when was that? Like a couple of years ago?
21, yeah, end of
Oh,
21.
wow. Okay.
So I had it for that long.
Wow.
And in that time, apart from tyres, bulbs,
Your consumables.
yeah, wiper blades,
Yeah.
the clutch, something went wrong with the clutch once.
Right.
And it cost me 120 quid to fix it.
Oh.
And other than that, ran like a dream.
Oh.
It had terrible suspension,
Right.
but it just went. And because I don't drive like an idiot, it would happily do 70 on a motorway.
Yeah.
1.4. So if I did need to push it a bit, it would do it if I needed it
Nice.
to.
But like you said, you don't go more than 70.
But I don't go more than 70 on the motorway. Not hardly
You
ever.
consider it.
Exactly. So even though the Astra was the nicest car I've ever owned,
Yeah.
because it had a decent ride and much better performance, I'd say the Chill, the Kia Chill,
Oh, the
Rio,
Chill.
was the best car. My favourite of all my cars.
Okay,
Because
nice.
it was hassle-free, did the job, happy days.
Ah, amazing.
Since then, so I started a new job at the end of 21.
Yeah.
It involves driving, so I now get a car.
Yep.
Since then, they gave me a BMW 1 Series.
Okay, yeah.
I had that for about 7 months.
Right.
That was nice. That's the nicest car I've probably ever driven
Okay.
regularly. That then ran out of its lease, and I've got my new car last year, which is a Hyundai Ioniq, which is this hybrid thing.
Yeah.
It's got all the bells and whistles. So it does that radar thing you were talking
Yeah.
about. It's got all the parking sensors and the rear camera and all that. I don't really use any of it.
Yep.
And actually, I don't really like it. Apart from the fact it's automatic, which I do like.
You do like, yeah.
But apart from that, it's the suspension's awful. The
Right.
ride is terrible. It
Oh.
feels cheaply built. But hey, it's a company car. I don't really get a choice.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine.
You don't pay for it.
It's
You're gonna carry
actually
on.
technically probably the nicest car I've had in terms of what it does.
Yeah.
But so in summary, my Kia Rio Chill,
Was your favourite car?
that's the best car I've ever had.
Nice.
There you go. That's me done.
Okay, yeah, nice. Well, I have got several more.
Yeah,
than-
buckle in,
than
guys,
mine.
because
Yeah.
Paul's got like 19 of these to go through.
Yeah, I went through and I wrote down all my cars that I've owned, some for longer than others, and so I'll go through these with maybe some of them I'll gloss over, some of them there's stories with. So the first car I sort of owned, well, it was Mum's car, and when I passed my driving test,
What age were you when you passed your test?
I was 17.
Oh, nice. Okay, straight in there.
Straight in there.
No messing around.
As soon as I could, I was
Yeah.
a village boy. As soon as I could, I wanted to be in a car and being out of the village. I wanted to be able to drive places. So my mum had a Vauxhall Nova, red Vauxhall Nova, 1.2,
Okay, yeah.
3-door, lovely, nice car. And I passed my driving test, came home, got in the car, drove and picked two of my friends up.
Crashed it.
4 hours later, wrote it off.
And that basically set the tone for the rest of my driving career.
No, literally, I wrote the car off after 4 hours.
I mean, I know this is
After-
we're already taking a long time, but talk me through the crash.
So it was the most ridiculous and stupid of crashes that you could ever have.
Right.
It was going up a single track lane far too
parapet?
fast. No swan,
Oh, okay, yeah.
far too fast.
Yeah.
And I came upon a Rover 800 coming the
Mm.
other way. Full on, head to head crash. Wrote the car off.
And was everyone okay?
Everybody was okay. Everybody was fine.
Wow. Because in a small car
Yeah.
with not many safety features, I'd imagine back
Not
then,
many safety features
crumple
at all.
zones weren't the thing that they are these days.
Everybody was fine.
Amazing.
So
Lucky.
Yeah, lucky. Walked then. It was the days before mobile phones.
Of course.
Walked from there about half a mile to the pub where there was a phone box outside, and phoned my dad. Said, "Dad, I've crashed the car." He laughed and said, "Yeah, all right, yeah, okay."
Good one,
yeah,
son.
little scamp. And I said, "No, I've crashed the car," and then in trouble from there on. So then, so that was first car, Vauxhall Nova. Next car, my own car. First car I bought. It was £300,
Nice.
and I bought it off my friend Nikolai T. Brunswick.
I know, yeah, okay.
A red Mini with a white roof.
I was going to say, I think it's a Mini. I seem to remember you having a Mini.
Red Mini, white roof, Loved it.
Great.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah. What size engine?
It was a normal Mini, 1 litre. Mm-hmm. Well, it's 998cc technically, but it's a 1 litre.
Is it though?
Yeah, is it though? Absolutely loved that. Drove it, used to drive it to mini events. Used to 2 or 3 of us had minis.
Yep.
Used to drive. Eventually,
Cool.
yeah, exactly. Eventually crashed that one. I rolled it 3 times.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
rolled it 3 times in one go, or you rolled it once 3 separate occasions?
No, 3 times in one go.
Okay.
With one of the same people in the car that was in my
Oh
first
really?
crash. Yeah.
Because they hadn't learned their lesson by this point. No.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So crashed that one. Got another Mini, a black Mini now, same 998cc.
Mm-hmm.
Got rid of that one. White Mini. Got rid of that one. A beige Mini. Now the beige Mini,
So
interesting.
hang on, how many minis have you had at this point?
This is my 4th Mini.
4th Mini, and you've only crashed one of them.
Yes,
All
so
right.
far.
Okay.
The other one, they would sort of, because they're minis, they would sort of run out of their usefulness. Really, I would buy it for sort of 200 quid.
Yeah.
And then it would sort
I've
of...
always assumed that they were disposable.
Yeah.
You drive them where you go and just leave them.
Yeah, sort of, and it wouldn't be worth kind of repairing it, or whatever. And you just
jump in another Mini and you drive it home, and
Yeah.
that's how that works, right?
So then eventually got the beige Mini. It was sort of the colour of a hearing aid or a prosthetic limb.
Right. Okay.
You know, that
yeah,
sort
I know
of
what
beige
you mean.
colour
Yeah.
that nothing else is.
Nice.
Once...
Is it for camouflage for desert warfare?
Exactly,
Right,
that's why I bought it, mainly. Going down another country lane once and hit sort of a bit of ice and hit a hedge and ended up on the side. It sort of slid along on its side.
Right.
And what came to a standstill, I had to get out of the passenger door.
Flip it back onto its wheels and then drive away?
So the person behind had phoned the police.
Oh, no.
Because they were like, oh my God, there's been an accident.
Yeah.
I popped out of the passenger door. Randomly then, a guy that I used to know from school, who was a farmer, was in the field opposite, came up and just literally looked at me as if I just walked into the local pub and went, all right, Paul?
Right.
I said, hello, Darren, you all right? You ready? Do you land? And so we rocked it, put it back on 4 wheels.
Yeah.
I got back in the car, scarpered pretty quickly before the police arrived.
So hang on, we're on our fifth Mini now.
Yeah.
And you've crashed 2 of them.
Yes.
Fine, okay.
Well, that one was fine.
Yeah, but you still crashed it, Paul.
Yeah, it was, yeah, okay, it was fine. After that Mini kind of outlived its usefulness, and I bought and this was, it was a bit of a kind of a step change. A white, it was a white Ford Fiesta.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Really nice, pristine white Fiesta, Mark II.
So was it quite new when you bought it, or not brand new?
No, it was still quite an old one. It wasn't. It was probably, instead of like the 200 quid for a Mini,
Yeah.
it was sort of 600 to 800. I
Got
think.
you. And what size engine? What size engine?
It was 1.2.
Okay, yeah.
So it was
bit
a step
pokey.
up in power as well.
Yeah.
And it was a Ford, a bit better built.
Yeah.
Get more people in it. I like that. I used to drive that backwards and forwards to work. Eventually, I needed something. I then got a job as doing something that was up in Gloucester. And I needed something a bit better to go back and forth to Gloucester. So I ended up buying a Sierra Sapphire, which is the Sierra with the boot.
Yeah.
It was the first automatic I'd ever owned.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah.
Silver one. Leather seats.
Oh,
Yeah, I
hello.
know. Still a
Hello,
cassette deck.
ladies.
But it had, I bought it and it was about, because I'd got this new job and it was good and, I bought it was a couple of £1,000, but it had like 94,000 miles on it.
Right.
And I kind of didn't get the sort of that, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to get that. And that once, whilst I was coming back from Gloucester, the engine blew up, just completely blew up.
Oh.
And just like nothing I could do, just had to leave it, took it to the scrapyard. So that was that one. From then I bought a red Montego estate.
Okay, yeah.
Electric windows.
So hang on,
First car-
Montego, is that Ford?
No, Austin.
Austin. Okay, I can't, I'm thinking of a different...
Yeah,
different
and then Rover after that. So it was in the
Okay.
same family as the Metro. Actually.
Right, okay,
Probably.
yeah.
What was the other one? The Maestro, Montego.
Right.
So slightly bigger. So
Okay.
yeah, red one. First car with a sunroof, electric windows. It was nice. I used to drive that backwards and forwards to Lancaster, where my now wife, then girlfriend, lived.
Yeah.
So that was great. Loved that one. Then this was, I think, when we got married. I had a silver Mark V Escort estate. I'm going to gloss over some of these. It was lovely, really nice car, that one.
Okay.
Then onto an aubergine, metallic.
Hang on, aubergine. We're talking like a sort of purpley type colour.
Dark
yeah?
purpley
Right,
black.
Yeah.
IO estate.
Right.
First car I had with a CD player. Love that car, big car. And then this is when I started going okay. This is my favourite car I ever owned.
Right.
So I started doing okay, started earning a bit more money. We were married, it was just the two of us. We bought our first house.
Oh, disposable income. Remember
Disposable income, remember that? I bought a silver Honda S2000, which is the sports car, soft top,
Right.
leather interior.
I think I know the one you're talking about,
It's revs to 9,000, a really great engine, just a brilliant car. Loved it.
Two-seater?
Yeah, two-seater. And and the best bit about it was the first car I'd ever seen, even let alone have with a start button.
Oh,
So you get in,
wow.
you turn the key, and it had a big red start-stop button.
Amazing.
You pressed the spark.
So it had a
engine
key
up.
and a start button?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a sort of nuclear launch. And I went, I drove all the way to, it was Lincoln that I bought it from. So I drove the Mondeo there,
Yeah.
left the Mondeo as a part exchange, and drove
Just
all the way
left
back.
that in a canal.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Rolled it into a hedge, left it there, walked off. So I had that.
Filed down the old VIN number, and I was gone.
And
Hopped in the
off I went.
in the Honda, and I was away.
And so that drive back is probably one of my favourite drives ever, driving back from there. And it was a beautiful day. I put the top down, and I just felt like I was it. You know, I felt like I'd made it. It was
Isn't it depressing that you've never been able to experience anything like
replicate
that ever again?
Yeah. So that was amazing. Did that. So then the only brand new car I've ever bought was next, which was a brand new Mazda RX-8.
Now, I remember this car.
Oh, do you?
I think so.
You do
Because
remember it.
you drove me home from a wedding once.
I did.
And I was not in
You
a
were
good
not
state.
in a good state. No.
I'd overdone it a little bit at the wedding.
It was our friend.
And I was so close to throwing up in the back of that car, and there was not a lot of space in the back of that car.
There was not a lot of space.
No.
It had suicide doors in
Yes,
the back. The doors.
that's right. And I considered using them for that purpose on the way home as well. It's just not worth it, Mark.
Yeah, and I love that. Absolutely love that. The next car was. I'll let you guess what the next car was. So George falls pregnant.
Okay.
We can't have a sports car anymore.
No.
What do I buy?
You buy a Ford Focus.
I buy a Volvo.
Oh, okay, right.
I
Yeah.
bought a Volvo V50, black, nice car, safe.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And my brother knew.
Crashed it.
My brother knew that George was pregnant before I told him, because I turned up
Oh, really?
in a Volvo. He was like, "Yeah, no, I see what's happened here." So yeah, bought that. Then after that, decided to get rid of that one. Bought a Honda Accord, which I had for 5 days. Stupidly, I didn't realise that we couldn't get 3 children across the back of it.
Oh, right.
So I couldn't get the car seats properly in.
I see.
So I bought the car without trying that.
And you had 3 kids at this point.
3 kids,
Right, yeah.
2 toddlers and a baby. Couldn't get the 3 seats across the back, so couldn't go anywhere.
Nightmare.
That was an embarrassing.
So were you able to
situation.
take that back to the dealership? And
No, they wouldn't have it back. I tried that.
Oh, really?
No, thank you.
Right.
You bought it now.
Yeah.
So I then had to part exchange that, so I lost some money on that, it's fair to say. I will not say to you or my wife how much I lost on it.
Right. Tell me after.
Yeah. From then, I then had old car of my brother's. There was a Mercedes 210 Series E-Class Estate.
Right.
About a 2005 model,
Okay.
which was all right. It was just
Yeah.
it was the one that he was using to kind of take stuff to the tip and back, and so he didn't need it anymore. I used it until one day I was driving along and the front near side suspension just failed completely, and it just went clunk. So that one was thrown away, and then I bought my next favourite car. Well, there's a couple of favourites now. This is just a list of cars now.
It really is, yeah. I mean, we did warn you. This is
Yeah.
full Top Gear, you know.
Volvo XC90, which was a 7-seater 4x4, which we needed at that time.
Okay.
Kids are growing up, needed something bigger. Also, 3 kids that are pretty close in age. If you put them 3 across the back, they will fight with each other.
Oh, yeah.
So 3 rows of seats, 2 in the back, 1 in the back. As we used to
Right,
call
I
it.
see.
The back.
So you zone them off in the back of the car,
Exactly,
basically.
exactly.
Nice.
So when we were going on holiday, so say we went to France on holiday, we would put our eldest child in the back and pack around him.
Right.
So he couldn't get out.
Amazing.
So we would pack around him, so he would just be like... You know,
And when you inevitably crash, because we've already established you've got a sound pattern of this,
Yes.
he'll be nice and snug and like stuck in there, won't he?
Oh, he'll be
That'd be
fine.
better than like a 4-point safety belt,
yeah,
wouldn't
we
it? You know?
surround him with, non-sharp items.
Yeah.
In general, he was fine.
Although, if you do hear about if a child hasn't got a seatbelt on, famously they'll come through like with the force of an elephant.
Yes.
Then you're running a bit of a risk of that, though, aren't you?
Yeah, and he has got the force of an elephant. I tell you.
And the smell sometimes as well.
Oh, I tell you, teenagers, right? Am I right? Yeah. So then after that, Land Rover Discovery 4. Big old 4x4.
The old disco.
The old disco.
Excellent.
So I love that car, but then that was a bit ecologically unsound, costing a lot of money in petrol and diesel and tax. A lot of money on tax.
Oh, really? It was high tax, was it?
It was like £700 a year tax.
And what was the make again of that?
Land Rover.
Oh, it was a Land Rover, right?
It's a Landy.
Yeah.
It's a Landy disco.
But did you like having a Land Rover? I bet the sort of elevated driving position must be quite nice.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
One of my favourite cars I've ever had.
Okay.
It just worked. Everything about it was brilliant. It was nice. It was smart. It was great. And so then it was a VW Golf Estate, which I still own, which used to be my mum's, which is my sort of, between me and my wife.
That's your taken to the tip car?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, basically. And
I'm guessing one of your kids is going to have that eventually then.
they generally are quite embarrassed by it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, I don't have to go in the golf, do I?
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
Your kids are so privileged.
Oh, tell me about it. First world problems, right?
Yeah.
You have to go in the automatic Golf. And now the first sort of company car I've ever owned, BMW iX3, which is my electric car.
Which is your electric car.
Now, which I drove here tonight.
Yeah.
And that's it. That is my story of cars. It's sort of, you can kind of track my family history, my sort of history as a child, touch wood, for about the last 15 years I haven't had a crash.
Okay, well that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
well, that's progress, isn't it?
I think it is
grow
progress.
up, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
So your cars really do track your whole kind of life and career and family.
Yeah.
Mine just kind of tracks what my financial state was throughout my life.
Mine do as well, I think.
Right, okay.
I suppose.
But I just so it was like that Astra was like the nicest car I bought, probably the most expensive car, but it was only because it was on finance at the time.
Yeah.
The Kia I bought outright, but it was dirt cheap.
Yeah.
But then it just lasted for years.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. So that is our history through cars and automobiles.
And that is now documented.
Yeah.
For future
all time.
Yeah, and I think
generations to come.
In 100 years' time, the next evolution, some AI bot is going to listen to this, and it's going to just understand a little bit more about how humanity works, I think.
Yeah, I like to think we're doing humanity a service.
Well, with that, I think we're going to ding the bell.
Onwards. Coming in last in the motor race of today's episode, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think that's really nice. You've tied that back in thematically really nicely.
Crowbarred it in, I think, somewhere along the line. Yeah, the last cab off the rank.
Yeah, that was also nice.
So,
thanks. Yeah.
So thanks. Is my quick fires to Mark.
Hit me.
Hit you. Here we go. So, the first question, it kind of ties back a little bit. What's the fastest you've ever been in a car?
Oh, I think it's probably me driving.
Yep.
So I've never had a racing track day experience or anything like that. I have done a rally experience.
Oh, wow.
But it was on quite a short
course.
You're not getting up to massive speeds,
Yeah.
So I once had a hire car with a job I had. I had to go to Birmingham for an event. So I drove myself and a colleague from Bristol to Birmingham. The hire car they gave me was a Skoda Octavia, which is actually it was a nice car. Don't know what size engine it was, but it went bloody fast. So I did. No, this was back in the day when I didn't drive sensibly like I do now.
No, of course not. The
but I was
Mark
doing
we all know and love
over 110, pretty much the whole way. It was quite late, so we left the office quite late in Bristol, so it was completely clear. M5. We were going to the NEC hotel.
You don't have to justify it to me.
It's possible it was in that car.
Okay.
Doing about 110.
Okay. Nice. Good question. Good answer.
There you go.
Oh, I can't say good question.
Yeah, great question,
That's
Paul.
a really great question, Paul. Well done. Question number 2. What car did you want when you were 10 years old? Were you ever that kid that sort of looked...
Yeah, I did. So I wanted a TR7.
Oh, really? A Triumph
Because
TR7?
those things, were back when I was 10, they looked just amazing. They looked, Triumph did a fantastic job on the look.
Yeah.
Now, I'm told that they were complete pieces of shit.
Yeah, I think they were,
But to a 10-year-old who doesn't really understand this... Oh, and also, when I was quite young, I remember thinking that cars were powered like rockets and the exhaust was a rocket and that's how cars worked. So
it isn't.
But 10-year-old Mark, who was like that stupid,
a TR7.
The TR7 looked like the flip up lights. I mean, oh my god!
Those the flip up lights. It's the sort of wedge of cheese shape.
Yeah,
TR7
absolutely.
Is absolute. Oh yeah.
But I was a bit obsessed with it. Whenever I saw one, I would be shouting about it, and in the car in journeys and stuff. So yeah, there you go, Triumph TR7.
Mine was a Porsche 959. Just in case you want to know. You didn't. The next question number 3, is: have you ever been involved in a road rage incident?
Yes.
Oh,
right. Okay. So I used to. So back when I
are we going to go back do this whole kind of back in the day before I was considered driving?
Exactly that. So I was driving from there's a town north of Bristol called Yate.
Yep.
Great Yate. And I was driving from Yate back to our village. So that was kind of like from where we grew up. Yate was a nearer town to Bristol sort of thing.
There was large conurbation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was driving back from Yate along Badminton Road.
Yep.
And I was driving up to a junction.
Very local, though. Very local centric.
Yeah.
Sorry
You
to
all
our
know
listeners
Badminton
in South Korea.
Look it up, people. So I was driving down this road, and a car came out of a side road and pulled out.
Frog Lane?
No, it wasn't. I can't remember. It was one of the roads that goes up towards Puckle Church.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Puckle Church. That's a real place.
Yeah.
Look it up, people. So, but the thing is that there was nothing behind me.
Right.
And they just pulled out in front of me. I don't know whether they didn't look, or probably more likely they looked. And like some people do, it's like their gauge for what is a reasonable time to be pulling out is, could this person, if they slam their brakes on, avoid hitting me?
Yes,
if that's yes, then fuck it, I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what happened. I was so enraged, and I was like on the horn, and I was flashing. Long story short, I followed them home. Yeah, nothing really happened. They got out of their car.
That mother and child were
It was actually
terrified.
quite an elderly couple. And I got out of my car, and I wasn't really angry shouting it with them, but I did go up to them and say, I'm the driver of that car that you pulled out in front of, and what the hell were you thinking, and stuff like. And with that, their son, who was in the house, came out, heard a bit of a commotion.
Oh, wow.
There was a few words exchanged, and eventually nothing happened. I got back in my car and drove home. But they lived in the same village as me, but nowhere really near me. So
good.
I followed them home, and I'm not at all proud of that.
That's creepy, isn't
But
it?
I was just so furious, and I just couldn't let it go. It does remind me, though, that I don't get road rage much at all these days.
No, well, good.
But do you know what? So I haven't beeped my horn at someone in anger for several years, I reckon.
Even with the signalling? The indication?
Yeah, no, I haven't. And do you know one of the reasons I think that my road rage has abated?
Go on, what is that?
It's because when I'm on YouTube, one of my favourite things to watch on YouTube, probably the thing I watch more than anything, is UK dashcam footage. Right? But the sort of the clips that are put together for these things, it's not just people just driving calmly. It's always obviously some bad road rage incident,
of course,
or a crash.
You don't want somebody going to the shops and back.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't want dash cam footage of Neil doing his everyday
so
stuff.
much. I don't know. It's not that I find it calming. I don't find it calming. What I do is it's very much a rather than the me situation.
Oh, okay.
But because I'm watching these people, and it's always road
like a
rage.
Schadenfreude.
No, it's not that. I'm not happy. It's more that I could easily see myself getting into that scenario, and I remember from back in the day. I would drive like that, and I would shout at people, and they would be beeping and flashing, and it would make me very upset.
Yes.
And so I kind of watch this, and I think the fact that I watch so much is that when I'm driving, I'm always because whenever you watch these clips on YouTube, every new clip, you're waiting for the thing that's going to happen.
Of course, yeah.
So when I'm driving, I think I'm now conditioned to be, something's going to happen. Because you're watching, like, you say someone's driving down a motorway. Yeah. It cuts to a new clip, and someone says driving down a motorway, but there's a slip road about to join. And you're like, that guy, he's going to do that. And of course, that's what happens. So when I'm driving now,
you know that.
I'm always anticipating this stuff.
It's like instructional video.
Yeah, so I reckon that watching UK dashcam footage on YouTube, of which there are fucking thousands of hours
should
worth,
be mandatory education.
I think it makes me a better driver, and I will stick to that. But yes, I have done road rage, and the worst I did was follow someone home and remonstrate with them. But the way they pulled out in front of me was so ridiculous.
Okay, number 4. Favourite gadget in a car?
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So, well, I've already alluded to this in the last episode, but sat-nav.
Oh, yes.
If you'll count sat-nav as a gadget...
Yeah, I will, yeah.
I'll
allow it.
What? I mean, I was telling you earlier about this, but I won't go into lots of detail, but there was one time I was trying to get from Warwick to Bristol, and I ended up in High Wycombe.
Oh, okay.
Free sat-nav.
Right.
Sat-nav would avoid
would
that.
Have put a stop to that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sat-nav.
Okay, great, marvellous. And last one, what's the stupidest thing you've done or you've ever seen done in a car? Not on your dash cam footage.
I was going to say, there's lots of stupid things on the dash cam stuff.
You specifically. Well, I've been told of times where a friend of the pod, Phil, has been driving along.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Go on, please. It's not that I was setting you up for this.
Yeah.
But... Please.
So the one that I think the one that really okay. So suddenly loads of things are flooding to me now. So Paul's cousin Phil, who's a good friend of mine. Phil and I were in the same year at school.
Friend of the pod, technical advisor.
Technical advisor. He had a Beetle.
Yes.
For a long time, and it was pretty beefy. It had like a especially big engine in, a custom engine sort of put into it. So it was really fun, and he drove like a fucking maniac in that all the time.
Yep.
So Beetle surfing, is that the thing that you're thinking of?
Well, yeah, there's Beetle surfing. I've heard of one time where he just was driving along and just got out the window.
Yeah, well, there's a few things here. So the Beetle surfing is Beetles have got a really big sort of bumper on the back. So we used to do a thing, there was a little lane. So after the pub, so Phil doesn't drink, by the way. He's always been teetotal.
Yep.
So he was always able to drive. So we would go to the pub on a Friday, and then there was like this sort of scout camp not too far from where we lived.
Yeah.
I can't even remember what it's called now.
Woodhouse Park.
Woodhouse Park. And it was like about a 15-minute drive through tiny little country lanes. So we would stand on the back of his Beetle, and there would be like... So at one time, I remember, there were 4 people. So there were 4 people in the car. So 5 people in the car. And there were 4 people on the outside of the car. 3 stood on the back bumper.
Yeah.
Draped over the top of the car, holding on, and one person ahead of them just literally lying on the top of the car.
Right.
But us three on the back were holding that person.
Right.
And it's got quite big sort of rims down the side of the
like
top.
gutters, yeah.
Yeah, so we were sort of able to hold on to that. And he would rip down this country lane doing, he must have been doing 60 or 70, I reckon, in this tiny lane. But it's amazing that you can actually, the way that the car's designed, it's almost designed to have people stood on the back of it.
I think that's what they had in mind.
No, I wasn't here for this, but there was another time, exactly the same thing was happening, but I wasn't there, where everyone who on the outside came off.
Oh, really?
Around a corner, they all came off.
Oh.
So I don't know how that happened, because when I was doing it, I always felt quite safe.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Maybe they weren't quite as diligent as you were.
Maybe not. Maybe they just,
their technique
was all wrong. The other thing was my friend of mine, Ben, would drive me when I would ride my bike. So I had a pub job. I was working behind a bar, but I couldn't drive at the time. So I was riding my bike. He would drive there, and he would drive home, and I would hold on to the side of his window.
Like Michael J. Fox.
Like Michael J. Fox, but on a bike rather than a skateboard. But again, he would purposely go quite fast.
Yeah, go very fast.
It takes quite a lot of strength, actually, to hold on like that. It's, that's actually quite quite a skill.
We once, one of the stupidest things I've ever done in the car, as I went backpacking in Australia, as one does back in the day, and we got a job to drive a couple of Toyota Land Cruisers back from Perth to Sydney.
Wow.
So all the way across the Nullarbor.
Yeah, what sort of distance are you talking? What's that? Thousands of miles.
So it's the equivalent distance of London to Moscow.
Jesus,
is Perth to Sydney.
Yeah.
And so obviously you'd go for days, and you can't really drive at night because of the wildlife, because you hit kangaroos and also, and if you hit a kangaroo, you know it because they're quite big. So we would camp and then we'd go again. But there was 8 of us, 4 in each car, and quite often we would get alongside, going 60, 70 miles an hour, go alongside each other, and one person would go from one car to the next. Quite often, when we did that a few times, we would throw a bag of Maltesers. We would, one car in front, one car behind, throw Maltesers, see if you can catch them in your mouth, that kind of thing.
So I think you were alluding to this earlier as well, but Phil, again in his Beetle, I think, I have been in the car. I was in the back, but Phil basically got out of. He was driving the car.
Yeah, the car was going
along, and he started climbing out the window. And he told the person in the passenger seat, "Scoot along." So they scooted into the driver's seat and would put their foot on the accelerator. So the car kept going.
Yeah.
Phil climbed out his driver's side window, over the bonnet, over the roof, and got back in the passenger side window.
And the person didn't know it was going to happen.
No, so that was all a bit sort of spontaneous. But yeah, they were up to the task. I can't remember who that was. But yeah, that again.
That's the stupidest thing in a car.
God, fucking hell, we did some stupid things back in the day, didn't we? Jesus, it's amazing that we're still here.
Let's go back to the previous episode. Thank goodness there weren't any camera phones.
Yes, absolutely.
Or dash cam footage.
Oh my God, yeah.
Imagine that.
Because, I'd have probably seen it by now.
Just people, just kind of...
I do sometimes think, oh God, I wonder if I'll ever see myself on the dash cam. But I'm confident I would never see myself doing something stupid because I'm too good a driver. I mean, I think the abiding thing that I want people to take away from this is that I am and continue to be the best driver in the world.
No shit.
Okay. Anyway, thanks for your quickfires.
You're welcome.
So that pretty much concludes our motoring episode. I kind of feel if you don't give a shit about cars, or indeed you and I, this episode is not going to be for you, is it? For you. But, they're not always going to be gold, are they? We come up with these episodes. We often come up with them and it's what we think, could we talk a bit about this? Have we got anything to say about this?
We've certainly talked about it. I think that's fair. And whether anybody's going to find it interesting or not,
I know.
I don't know.
Well, we'll see, won't we? But hey, that's the whole sort of hodgepodge approach we take to these podcasts. The next one will be something completely different.
That's true.
If you didn't like this one, listen to the next one. It could be exactly what you want to hear.
But you know what? If there is something that you want to hear...
Oh my God.
What could you do?
Just fucking email us.
Yeah, paying a fortune for this Gmail address, right? And
just once again, it's Mark and Paul's Opinion Hour. And AND, not ampersand, because you're not allowed those in Gmail accounts. Mark and Paul's Opinion Hour at gmail.com.
Okay.
As simple as that.
So I think it's time, really, to kind of find a safe place to pull over, put the handbrake on, open the door, put a match into the car, and walk away from the car.
No, I think that if this podcast is a mini, it's time to flip it 3 times and then get the fuck out of there.
Ding the bell.
Here we go.